One of my favorite things about this record is the fact that there's this trilogy of three, the trinity of Betty, August, and Cardigan are all like, we made August together, we made Cardigan together, we all three
It's perfect.
made Betty together. And Betty was, I just heard Joe singing the entire fully formed chorus of Betty from another room.
Yeah.
And I just was like, hello.
You're like, I do this professionally.
Hello.
I'd love to have a conversation.
It was a step that we would never have taken, because why would we have ever written a song together?
I thought you were doing a bit when you're like, Joe and I wrote a song, and then I was like, what? And I thought it was gonna be like, you know, like people write like cute songs about their animals in relationships. And then you're like, no, we wrote like a real song. And I was like, what? And then you sent it to me, and I was like,
So this was the first time we had a conversation where I came in and I was like, hey, this could be really weird and we could hate this. So could we just, because we're in quarantine and there's nothing else going on, could we just try to see what it's like if we write this song together? So he was singing the chorus of it, and I thought it sounded really good from a man's voice, from a masculine perspective. And I really liked that it seemed to be an apology. And I've written so many songs from a female's perspective of wanting a male apology that we decided to make it from a teenage boy's perspective, apologizing after he loses the love of his life because he's been foolish.
allegedly.
No, he's been foolish.
No, according to the internet, we don't know what it's about. There's
He's
something-
been foolish.
No, I mean just.
We wrote it, I'm confirming. He
Well,
was
I
foolish.
don't know who Blaine Bauer
He was a fool.
is, so yeah,
He was
okay.
a fool. With the song Peace, when you sent me this instrumental, the first word that I thought of was this is what peace sounds like. It's got this, you know, this amazing bass line that just made me feel like this is serenity, this is peace. And then I was thinking, maybe you just start with the obvious and think about how that could be told in an interesting way that kind of goes against the title. Like, I could never give you peace over the most peaceful sounding instrumental track.
Yeah, that's why I sent it to you, because you kind of said, like, send me everything, including like the most off the wall idea you have, and then you were able to write a song which not only does it like have such a beautiful, it's such a beautiful love song and recognition that of the kind of like insecurity in any relationship, that like, will I be able to give you peace? Will you be at rest with me, even though, you know, whatever comes? But you also trace the bridge. When I heard the bridge, and that you traced all the weird timing and weird chord changes, it just felt like, okay, we can do anything. We might be able to do anything or something. You know, like this is it pushed the collaboration forward at that moment, where I was like, okay, so this is a weird race. Let's just.
Yeah, I think this is a song that's like extremely personal to me, because there are times when I feel like with everything that's in my control, I can make myself seem like someone who doesn't have an abnormal life. And I try that every day. Every day it's like, how do I make myself, among my friends and family and my loved ones, not see this big elephant that's in the room for our normal life, because I don't want the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be in my life, I feel like there's a certain amount that comes with it that I can't stop from happening.
Yeah.
I can't stop from you getting a call in the morning that says, you know, the tabloids are writing this today. I can't help it if there's a guy with a long lens camera 2 miles away with a telescope lens taking pictures of you. I can't stop those things from happening. And so this song was basically like, is it enough? Is the stuff that I can control enough to sort of block out the things that I can't?
Yeah.
So it makes me really emotional to hear this song, and to know that a lot of people related to it who aren't talking about the same things that I'm talking about. They're talking about human complexity.
Yeah, I love that about the record in general, and this song specifically, because to me it's about, I have in my life suffered from depression, and I'm a hard person to be in a relationship with or be married to, because I go up and down, and I can't help it. It's like a chemical thing that happens sometimes, and music is a way of dealing with that for me. and just somehow that the song captures the fragility of what that's like to be in a relationship with someone who may or may not have peace, or may, but that's again my
someone
interpretation.
who you would want to provide with peace.
Yeah.
Someone that you love, so you want you want them to have as much peace in their life as possible, and reconciling the fact that you might not be their best option for that, but is it still a deal they want to take? Okay, the word hoax is another word that I love, because I love that it has an X, and I love the way that it looks, and I love the way it sounds. I think with this song being the last song on the album, it kind of embodied all the things that this album was thematically, like confessions, incorporating nature, emotional volatility and ambiguity at the same time, sort of love that isn't just easy. And it's the most kind of symbolic, poetic thing, listing all these things that this person is to you. And I remembered I asked you for advice on this one.
You did. I think you didn't. I think, like, to you it meant different things, and that was a moment of like doubt or something.
And I think I said, what if not all of these feelings are about the same person? What if I'm writing about several different, very fractured situations, like, one is about love, and one is about a business thing that really hurt, and one is about a sort of relationship that I consider to be family, but that really hurt. And
yeah, and I remember, and this was
You
one of the
referenced
moments,
Matt.
when Matt, The National and Matt Berninger, often songs are about more than one thing, or many sides of a coin, and I just love that. I kind of thought this feels different, and it also feels, I kind of liked the fact that you weren't totally sure.
I definitely had the moment of doubt. I had the moment of like, I don't usually do this. I usually know exactly what I'm writing about. And I was really happy when you kind of pushed me forward, like, nope, do the thing that makes you uncomfortable, because I think that's what makes it a song that really, to me, stands out. That line about, it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart. Like, anyone in my life knows what I'm singing about there, but everybody has that situation in their life where it's like, you let someone in and they get to know you and they know exactly what buttons to push to hurt you the most.
Yeah.
That thing where the scar healed over, but it's still painful. They still have phantom pain.
Yeah.
I think the part that sounds like love to me is, don't want no other shade of blue but you, no other sadness in the world would do.
Yeah.
It sounds like, to me, that sounds like what love really is. Like, who would you be sad with? And who would you deal with when they were sad? And like, gray skies every day for months, would you still stay?
Yeah.
I think The Lakes sort of sounds like a testament of what I wanted to escape from and where I saw myself escaping. We'd gone to the Lake District in England a couple years ago.
What is the Lake District?
It's in England, and it's, in the 19th century, you had a lot of poets like William Wordsworth and John Keats would spend a lot of time there. And there was a poet district, these artists that moved there, and they were kind of heckled for it and made fun of for it as being these eccentrics and these kind of odd artists who decided that they just wanted to live there. And I remembered when we went, I thought, man, I could see this. You live in a cottage and you've got wisteria growing up the outside of it, and of course they escaped like that. Of course they would do that. And they had their own community of other artists who had done the same thing. And, and then I've always, in my career, since I was probably about 20, written about this sort of cottage backup plan that I have.
You've been writing about that forever.
I've been writing about that forever.
You've been writing about getting out forever.
Yeah, so The Lakes is really talking a lot about relating to people who hundreds of years ago had the same exit plan and did it. And they went and did it. I went to William Wordsworth's grave and just sat there, and I was like, wow, you went and did it.
Yeah.
You just did it. You just went away and you kept writing, but you didn't subscribe to the things that were killing you.
Yeah, you left those things behind in a real way.
And that's really the overarching thing that I felt when I was writing folklore is, I may not be able to go to the lakes right now or to go anywhere, but I'm going there in my head, and this escape plan is working.
That to me is the hope in this body of work, is that it's not, I can't do this, I'm out. It's, I've found something worth escaping with.
And a person to escape with.
And to me, that's a huge sincere statement of hope that like everything I'm naming is completely small compared to this love.
Yeah, it's the perfect, I thought it would be the perfect way to slot the last puzzle piece in right when people least expected it.
Yeah.
Because Hoax as the ending song for the record, I thought was interesting for a couple weeks, but then I wanted to actually come in with the real last song of the record, which is this song that, The Lakes, which shows you exactly what, it kind of is the overarching theme of the whole album, of trying to escape, having something you want to protect, trying to protect your own sanity, and saying, look, they did this hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not the first person who's felt this way. They did this.
Oh. It's a really potent statement right now. I think the idea of getting away and figuring out how to remove the things that are not working in one's life is the story of this time.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking about that, I don't know what you're thinking about.